Good morning, everybody. I'm Bill Hemmer. A lot to talk about on this here from New York and America's
Good
Newsroom.
morning there, Bill. Nice to see you. Good morning, everybody. I'm doing well. I'm Martha MacCallum. So we've got the Health and Human Services Secretary. Her name is Sylvia Burwell.
And we're going to have yet another epic day, probably the last week of June, right here when the Supreme Court rules on these subsidies. It will be significant.
Indeed it will. All right. And asking for billions more to pay for the fight against...
Groups are already coming out and saying they don't buy the pitch at this point. They've yet to see it happen, but we'll discuss that next hour with Paul Rykoff.
It will be interesting to see if somebody with that kind of real corporate experience can make a difference in that organization, which has been historically led by people from the military. So he's got a big job in front of him, and it sounds like he's committed to it. So we'll see.
No question about that. You're precisely right, Martha. So good luck.
So President Obama is threatening an executive action on immigration, as you know, but Bill O'Reilly says that the White House has a different goal in mind in his opinion. Our panel's going to debate this coming up. Well, it's a book about a president.
8 years ago, 2007.
I think they should have stuck with the story. I think it's a pretty good story.
I agree.
Ripped up the $800 million contract.
And the headline in the New York Post was, that's
very rock and roll.
Whole lot of dough.
Ho, 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 ho.
But
There's President George W. Bush down in Texas for an hour-long special that will air on Thursday night. And obviously these two men so close and are in that exclusive club of U.S. presidents, and the more exclusive club of being in the Bush family and being, you know, it's just love story, as President George W. Bush said to his father. So.
See, the pride of his son is so apparent.
It sure is. Beautiful thing. Absolutely.
So,
right. Welcome, everybody. Brand new hour starts now in America's Newsroom. I'm Martha MacCallum.
And I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning. Shades of Richard Nixon, the president's longtime advisor.
Forward to the books that will be written in the years to come, Bill, because very few people willing to go on the record about the enormous amount of influence that Valerie Jarrett has over this president. And people question why, you know, in terms of her own background and her own. She worked for Daley in Chicago. She hired then Michelle Robinson to work for her. And they are the nucleus of this presidency. So it's a fascinating story.
It sure is. Yeah, you're on the list, MacCallum. It's right there. Right there.
No doubt.
Check it out. All right.
New reaction after an architect of Obamacare said on camera that the White House had to deceive the American people, or the health care bill really never could have happened. At 10 p.m. Eastern, he is an extraordinary story, humble. Talks all the time about how he was part of a group and it never would have happened if it weren't for everybody, starting with the rescue workers at Ground Zero on 9/11. And I urge everybody not to miss this.